Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from third group. We want to present our materials about objective tasks. But before that, let me introduce ourselves. My name is Dalilatul Khasanah as a moderator and a first speaker, and my partner Kania Sausan as a second speaker, and Ade Jorgi as the last speaker. Well, let's start with the first point. First is definition of objective task. An objective task is a task that can be carried out objectively in the examination. The objective task requires students to choose the correct answer among the possible answers provided. Provide short answer and complete questions or statement. Second, characteristic of objective tasks. There are a number of possible answers. Choose one of the correct and best answer. Another alternative answer serves as to the structure. There are more questions than essay tasks. Sometimes it for tasks that last 16 minutes can be given 30 or 50 items. Judged by anyone will produce the same score. It means that even a teacher asks his students to help correction the objective test questions, the results will still be same because the answer and the assessment are clear and defined. The possible of encouraging students to remember, interpreting, and analyzing other people's ideas. And judging from the taxonomy, the measure results are to measure the learning outcomes of the level of knowledge, understanding, application, and analysis. And then, in terms of content, the material can include learning material large due to the large number of items. And the next materials, general guidelines for writing objective test items. First, objective test item should cover important content and skills. So the item objective test must include or must be in accordance with the materials that has been taught. And next, the reading level and vocabulary of each item should be as elementary as possible. It means that if the student's reading level is intermediate, we must use vocabulary intermediate too. We can give if the student's level reading is intermediate, we give vocabulary advanced, it not be balanced. So the vocab level and vocabulary of each item should be balanced or equivalent. And each objective item should be stated in an ambiguous manner, and confusing sentence structure and wording should be avoided. And the last is clues to correct answer should be not provided. Well, the next material will be delivered by Kania Sausan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Kania Sausan, and now I'm going to explain about the next material, that is formatting objective test or constructing objective test. Okay, the first is varied types of items that appear on classroom test, and the second is group items similar in format together so that each types appears in a separate section. And the third is each section should be preceded by clear direction. And for the fourth is within each section, order the items from easiest to most difficult. And the fifth is although all item types will not appear on every test, they should be arranged in the following order, like true or false, matching, short answer, multiple choice, and essay. And the sixth is provide adequate space for students to respond to each item. And the seventh is avoid splitting an item between two pages. And the eighth is begin test development with table of specification shows the relationship among objectives, content, and Bloom's taxonomy. And the ninth is provide assurance that tests cover a representative and accurate sample of the content. And the number 10 is consider a basic question. Do the items match the instruction provided to students or not? And the 11 is textbook must be carefully examined for alignment. And the last is 12. The assessment is relatively easily, namely using the answer key to access the number of items so that the students answer correctly. Okay, and the next material is types of objective tests. There are 5 types of objective tests. The first is multiple choice, the second is true or false test, and the third is matching, the fourth is fill or completion, and the last is short answer. Okay, I think enough for my explanation. The next material will be delivered by our member of group. For Ade Jorgi, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ade Jorgi and I will explain about advantage and disadvantage. In advantage, the first is there are more positive aspects representative of the content, the breadth of the material, the objective, the subjective element of the student and the teacher who examine it can be avoided. The second is it's easy and fast to check it because you can use this key and even tools that result from technological advance. The third is the explanation can be left to other people. The fourth is in explanation there is no subjective element that overrate. The next is disadvantage. The first is preparation for complex tests. Items is more difficult than easy tests because there are many questions one must be careful. The second is the problem. The problem tend to be for memory and recognition power only. It is difficult to measure the higher mental process. The third is loss. Loss of the opportunity to play sensei. The fourth is cooperation between students when working on the test question is more. Okay, the last is from the Arikunto, 1997, on 1999. State how to overcome the weakness of the objective test. There are first, the difficulty of the constructing and the objective test can be overcome by practicing a lot of it over time to become truly proficient. The second is using specification tables to overcome weakness in preparing. Extracting this item and authenticity to rely on memory and recognition power. The third is using assessment normal that take into account the specific quiz for factor. Okay, I think enough. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.